Chumash, right? We always start with the
I
Chumash.
always start with Chumash.
Okay, thanks for the reminder. Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Chitas today. I'm filling in today for Rabbi Bukit as unfortunately his sister Ruchi passed and he's on his way to California to sit Shiva and to be at the funeral. So I will be filling in for Chitas this week. Today is we're starting. Oh, there we go. Now it's refreshed. We're starting Parshas Nasai right away at the start here in the middle of chapter number 4. And the Chitas this week, we're going to do the rest of the week at 9 a.m., at least for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm not sure, but well, when we get closer, we'll figure that out. So
no Friday.
Friday, we don't do Chitas ever?
It's
Friday's Shavuos, right? Thank you. Of course. So
you gotta eat cheesecake.
Of course.
Let him eat cheesecake.
And as I mentioned to those offline before, I do have a delivery of a stage, and they're calling right now. I'm going to go on a brief hold. I'm not even going to close my camera, so you'll be able to see me as soon as I get.
Okay. Hi. What is the words from Torah? Like a pashad, a fragile pashad. Man lingers on.
Yep.
Although I know it's chitas and all that, but there are many words of Shakespeare that while I know he wasn't a Jewish sage, some of his words, and he might have been an anti-Semite. I'm not sure.
No,
it's not as obvious to me. But lingers on this petty pace from day to day, and we are all but players upon a stage.
Yes, okay. That's right.
I see more issues to come with the stage, so hopefully I won't have to stop too many times, but unfortunately it's very important.
Okay.
Let's get going. Hashem spoke to Moshe saying, Nisai es roish b'nei Gershon gam heim l'beis avaisam l'mishpachaisam. Take a census of the sons of Gershon, of them too, following their father's houses according to their families, right? Because the Shevet goes by a father. Take census of the sons of Gershon, as I commanded you with regards to the children of Kahas, to see how many there are who have reached the category of those fit for service. Mi ben shleishim shana v'mayla. This is different than the other census, right? Because this one is from 30 years and upwards. Ad ben chamishim shana, until the age of 50 years. Tifkei deisam, you should count them, kol abali tzva tzva. And all who come to join the legion to perform the service in the tent of meeting.
90 is the new 50, so exactly. I feel much better.
That's what I'm talking about, for sure. Chapter verse number 24. This is the service of the Gershonite family, to serve and to carry. They should carry the curtains of the Mishkan and the tent of meeting, its coverings, asher olav, and the tachash skin covering overlaid upon it, and basically everything that's related to the Mishkan, milamayla, on top of it, there's masach pesach oil made, and the screen that is at the entrance of the tent of meeting. The curtains of the Mishkan, the 10 lower ones, and of the tent of meeting, the curtains of goat hair made as a tent over it, its covering, the ram skin dyed red, the screen of the entrance, the screen on the east side. So basically everything that is needed of the Mishkan. Ves kalei chatzer, and the hangings of the courtyard. Ves masach pesach shar chatzer, and the screen at the entrance of the gate of the courtyard. Ashar al Mishkan, which is around the Mishkan. Al mizbeach, and the altar. Saviv. Ves meisrehem, their ropes. Ves kol klei avedasam, all the kalim the vessels, the vessels that is done in the avoda, in the work. And everything that is made for them, they shall serve. Asher al Mishkan, which are around the Mishkan, that is to say the hangings and the screen of the courtyard, which shelter and protect the Mishkan, and the copper altar all around. Yeah. Al pi arein uvanav tia kol avodas bnei Gershoni. All the service of the sons of Gershon shall be by the instruction of Aaron and his sons. L'chol ma'asav u'l'chol avodasav, regarding their entire burden and their entire service. Ufgadatem aleim b'mishmeres eis kol ma'asav, and you shall designate their entire burden as their charge. The way it worked actually in the temple was that there were groups, and each group had 2 weeks. Each family, it was really like an extended large family, had 2 weeks that they would come to 1 week, basically 2 weeks a year, 1 week at a time for twice a year that they came. And that was basically, that week was, as they say, it was game time. That was the week that they had to shine. And they did all the services, and I'm sure between those 2 weeks, between when they're not service, I'm sure they were learning and prepping and doing all the other jobs that a Kohen has. Last verse. This is the service of the families of the Bnei Gershon, of the Gershon family. Ba'oil Moed, in the tent of meeting, Mishmartam, and their charge, Biyad Isamar ben Aaron HaKohen, was under their charge, which was under the supervision of Itamar, the son of Aaron HaKohen. That is a short chitas. Let us go to the Tanya. I'm just a little bit pressed for time, so we're going to skip this top note and we're going to get right in. V'hine kishahaya beis harishan kayam, when the first temple stood.
This chapter 53?
Chapter 53, yeah, exactly.
So this is the last chapter.
Yeah.
That's a very important moment
of this one, yeah. So at the time that the temple stood, in which the where the Aron, the Ark, and the Luchais, the tablets, were in the Kodesh HaKadashim, the Shechina Shehi Malchus Atzilas, which is the level of Malchut of Atzilas. If you have Eliot's diagram, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Which is the revealed light of Ar Ein Sof, of God's essence. Shoyrasham, it dwelled there in the Holy of Holies, and was clothed in the 10 Commandments, which were engraved on the tablets which were in the Ark in the Holy of Holies. It was far more intensely, and which begiloi rab, with much greater revelation, va'atzum yoser migiliyah behechol kadosh kadashim shalamayla ba'olamais elyonim. It was much greater there than its revelations in the shrines of the Holy of Holies above in the upper worlds. Over here, down in this world, in the world, this refers to the worlds of Asiya and Yetzirah. For even in the world of Yetzirah, the Shekhinah illumes only in as so far as it has previously clothed itself in the shrine of the Holy of Holies of the world of Bria. The level of Shekhinah manifest in the first temple, however, though it too was manifest only through having first been enclosed in Malchut of Bria, was less completely concealed. Even after this concealment, therefore, the illumination in the first temple was still on the level of the world of Bria and not Yetzirah. So interestingly enough, the Alter Rebbe is pointing out that the second temple was different than the first temple, and in the second temple, it was on a higher level than it over here in this world than in any other place. In as much as the temple was located in this physical world, how was it possible for the Shekhinah to be found there to a higher degree than in the upper worlds? How is it possible that in the second temple, at the very least, it was higher? The Shekhinah was at a higher level here in the temple than it was at the other worlds. Because the Tzeres Hadibrais includes the entire Torah, the Nafka Migai, which derives from the level Chachma Ilah, the Le'ela Me'oma the Isgalia, which comes from the level of Chachma Vatzilas, which is higher than in the revealed word. Ukidei Lechakikon Luchas Abanim Gashmim, and in order to engrave Chakikon, in order to get these 10 commandments to become one with Avanim Gashmim, with tablets of stone, physical stone, Lo Yardami Madrega Madrega, it did not go down like a regular Hishtalshalos, Kederach Hishtalshalos Ha'olam Aida Ha'olam Hazeh Gashmi. It didn't go in the regular path of Hishtalshalos, descending from degree to degree. Let's read this note. Generally, in order for a flow of divine light to arrive at this physical world, it must first descend from world to world, coming down from the worlds of Yetzirah and Asiya, both of which are a lot higher than its ultimate destination, this world. This, however, was not the case with the tablets. And because it was not the case with the tablets, it was not the case with the light of Ein Sof Baruch Hu that was in the Kodesh HaGashmi. For this world functions through the garb of material nature. The tablets, they were a work of God. Everything is a work of God. The entire world is a work of God. But this was not confined to the constraints of nature. As we know, the Luchot itself were miraculous. You were able to read it, for example, on both sides, even though it was completely through and through. You were able to read the 10 Commandments on either side. This was beyond the nature of the material world, Hagashmi, which is derived from the radiance of the Shekhinah that's in the Holy of Holies of Yesiyah. Which from there comes the light into Olam Hasiyah, which our world is included. Ella, rather, the Chinas Chachma Ilah Datzilas. This came straight from the level of Chachma Vatzilas. Shehi Kleileles HaTorah Shebiyud Hadibres, Shebaseres Hadibres, which includes the Torah that is encapsulated in the 10 Commandments. Clothed itself in Malchus of Atzilus and a Bria alone. It didn't have the same levels, the same seder, the same order of Ishtalpos as the rest of Gashmis that we see here in this world. And they alone were united with Aron Seif that was within them. This is referred to as the word Shechina. Hashoira, the Kodesh Kashashin, the Bayis Rishon, which rested in the Holy of Holies at the first temple. Through its being vested in the 10 Commandments, which were engraved by miraculous means, like I mentioned just 2 seconds ago, in the tablets that were in the Aron. As the sages tell us, the letters Mem and Samach, circular letters hewn through the entire thickness of the stone, stood in their place miraculously. Umaisa Elikim Chaim, and this was a godly Elikim Chaim. This was a miracle. Give me 1 second. Okay, so This is a work of God. Moreover, the Ten Commandments upon the tablets were the working of the living God, Elohim Chayim. Let's get into this a little bit. Hu Alma de Iskasia Hamekanen Ba'olam Habriya Kinei Diliyedechain. This being in terms of the Sephirot, Bina of Atzilach, which is known as the concealed world, which nests in the world of Beria, as is known to the students of Kabbalah. Okay, those familiar, we need this note. Those familiar with the Kabbalah know that the Bina of Atzilas radiates into the world of Beria, a world which still remains in the category of concealed world, like Helam. It is categorized as a world, but not a world whose independent being is revealed. And that the world of Beria is aware of how it is wholly dependent on God. So unlike our world, this world still, although it is part of the Alma de Iskasia, it's part of the concealed godliness is not revealed, but it is a world where they are aware themselves that they are completely dependent on Hashem. Okay, today's Tehillim is chapters 1 through 9. I look forward to